All right, Pet Man Matt Morrow, welcome to Friday Night Live or CFI After Dark. Whatever your preference is, we're here, and we're here to talk about another incredible night of football in the Charlotte metro area. Uh, we've seen some scores, we've seen some upsets, we've seen some close games, and we saw, the battle of, what a lot of us feel like are the two top teams in the metro area. And of course, we're talking about Huff at Chambers. The game was a sellout. It was a lot of people there. But I told producer, who was there with me, I said it was one of the more quietest sold out games that you could ever imagine because both defenses were really outstanding. Um, and ironically, when we talked about the game, we didn't talk a lot about special teams. And when this game started off, it started off with a big special teams play by Huff's talented wide receiver Markel Quick. He took the opening kickoff back all the way for a touchdown. And when that happened, it kind of took the steam out of the environment for it seems like the Chambers fans. And Huff obviously took a 7-0 lead after that play, and then they increased that to 14-0. Excuse me, on a touchdown pass from Tad Hudson to Akil Williams. And you started getting the feeling like, wow, what's going on here? Because we didn't come in to it expecting someone to have a 14-point lead, and Huff led 14-0 at halftime, and their defense was really, really impressive. They played fast, they tackled well, they didn't let Chambers receivers really get loose very often, which was one of the things that when we talked about the breakdown, that was a big concern. And credit to the Huff defensive line by keeping Bubba Kemp bottled up most of the night. He didn't really get out and make those plays outside the pocket that we always, see from him. That kind of, keep plays alive and force you to cover longer and it lead to big plays. But in the third quarter, Chambers came out of the locker room on fire, man. They forced Huff to punt, and then they got the opening kickoff for the second half, and they marched right down the field. Bubba Kemp running in a touchdown, and it was 14-7. You could feel the momentum changing because on that next drive, they forced a punt from Huff. And you kind of felt like, okay, now, we're getting into, what we thought we were going to see. But the Huff defense rebounded, and they did a good job of not letting Chambers build on that momentum they got off of that first drive. And then it just turned into a defensive slugfest for a while at 14-7. And then Huff was really close to scoring and going up 2 touchdowns, and they fumbled on the 2-yard line going in. And Chambers was able to get the ball back, but Huff did a great job of shutting them down after that. They didn't let Chambers capitalize on that opportunity. And they got the ball back and pretty much, kind of ran the game out from there. So, I'm sorry, they got a safety. Yeah, they got a safety to make it 16-7, and then they got the ball back and kind of just managed it out from there. But just really impressive performance from the Huff defense, and the Huff offense, did enough to get them the win tonight. So. We got a couple comments here. We'll get to that in just a second. Let me bring on the engine. Coming off of PTO day on Wednesday night.
What's up, Pat?
Good to see you, man.
Yes, sir.
What I know you didn't stay the whole time at your game tonight, but is there anything in particular you want to share?
Yeah, so I went to the Concord Central Bears game. Got there late. I had my fill-in head coaching 9 and 10-year-old soccer team practice tonight. I'll be making my head coaching debut as a fill-in head coach for the 9 and 10 soccer team. Got there, it was 7-0 Concord. Heard they scored on a big run early. I think it was the quarterback Phillips. Um, Concord scored again, 13-7. Actually, about the time I was walking in, they missed the PAT, 13-0 rather. Central Cabarrus came back. Adriel Miller had a beautiful catch, probably in the 50, 55-yard range, would be my guess from Caden Klein. And then simply put, after that, it was all Concord. Concord's rushing game was extremely strong. They had multiple players make huge gains. My bet is simply from Concord's touchdowns alone. Their rushing totals were well over 200 yards just on the touchdowns. We were talking about like 40-yard touchdown, 50-yard touchdown, 55-yard touchdown, big chunks. Central Cabarrus playing with a lot of injuries right now. I think they had 2 starters on the offensive line that were out going into tonight's game. They lost at least 1, maybe 2 other starters on the offensive line tonight. Several guys get banged up. They were playing freshmen in a couple of key places. But overall, a good win for the Concord Spiders, a tough night for Central Cabarrus Vikings and Viking fans. I think the final score ended up somewhere around 32-7. I think it was 28-7 when I got the heck out of there. But a good win for the Spiders and a good game for their Russian attack.
Wow, that's impressive. Keon Phillips, he did send me his stats. Let's see, 19 carries for 232 yards and 2 touchdowns. So he was a Pep Man player last week, and looks like he's going to be a Pep Man player again this week.
They were, honestly, Pep, they were probably 3 or 4 Concord running backs, if that's what you want to call them, who had huge games. I mean, like I said, legit, I bet over 200 yards rushing just on the touchdown plays, several huge runs from the Spiders.
Absolutely. Well, congrats to the Spiders on a big win. Second in a row for Concord.
2 in a row. That's right. They beat East Rowan last week, and obviously Central Cabarrus tonight.
Yeah. Super producer.
Always glad to be here.
What do you want to add about Huff and Chambers from your perspective?
Man, it's probably, if I had to sum it up, probably as far as my media career goes, probably a matchup I've seen probably one of the most times since I've been doing this. So I'm very, very familiar with both teams. Both teams very familiar with each other. Obviously, 2 of the best teams in our area, in our coverage area, whatever. So, hard fought defensive battle. Definitely, if anyone was coming expecting a shootout, they left disappointed. No shootout. Definitely a defensive game. But both teams can take a lot from this. We knew that no matter who won this game, the other team is still going to be in it. It's still going to be in the mix, for a long playoff run. Huff capitalized. They got, if I'm not mistaken, 9 points, 9 non-offensive points. So they got a special teams touchdown and a safety. And that really was the difference. That was the difference in the game. So, the game consists of all phases, but Chambers will be back. We know that. Like we've seen this story before. So hard fought defensive game. So if you're a fan of defense, this is the game for you. But no matter what, if history tells us anything, these teams will likely meet again. So, and I look forward to it. But it was a hard fought defensive game with great athletes on both sides. So it was defensive game, but still entertaining. So I look forward to see what each team does after this.
Absolutely. And the entertainment was on and off the field. I mean, it was cool seeing so many people that watch the show and support the show. Several fans of the JV game of the week, which was not expected, but great seeing everyone tonight. And once again, congratulations to Huff.
Well, when you're the best show in the area, you should expect people acknowledging you. So I see it anyway. Cream right to the top.
That's right.
CFI After Dark, ladies and gentlemen. CFI After Dark.
I'll
All
say
right.
it.
Chat administrator, he's very happy because the Mooresville Blue Devils with a big win, knocking off Hickory Ridge 40-22.
That is a huge statement for them. Huge statement win, man.
Pep, it seems like whoever the Pepman's player cover player is, right? That team has a huge win that night.
Well, look, it's like the opposite of the Madden curse.
It's the opposite of that. It's the Pepman blessing.
Right.
All right.
But I don't think, man, I don't want people to make light of that, man. Mooresville beat a great team by 18 points. Like, that's huge.
Absolutely. I think we'll get some stats from those guys once they, settle in and, get an accounting for what they did tonight. But there is a party at the Pop, I'm sure. And they're probably still enjoying it.
As they burgers packed out tonight, no doubt.
Absolutely.
I need a cherry lemon right now. Gosh, this freaking kidney stone drinking all this water.
Coach Trotter finally getting it done, man. 48-6 over
Can we
Winston-Salem.
please start talking about Coach Trotter? Please, talking about him as being one of the top coaches in this area. They're 6-0 now, giving up 6 points on the year, 10 points on the year. Mm-hmm. Can we please put him up there with the big boys in our area?
He sent some numbers over. Running back strong safety Noah Murphy, 16 carries, 124 yards, a touchdown and an interception on defense. Quarterback Nick Reed with a passing touchdown and 2 rushing touchdowns. So, that's the cool thing about them. They got different guys stepping up every week and making big plays. And that's awesome. That's awesome. That conference, man, Community School, Davidson, Pine Lake. There's another team over there that's been impressive so far. So that's
CSD, I think, with a big win tonight.
Yeah, I'm getting to it right now. 56-6. Now I'm gonna tell you something. Mountain Island does not get beat like that.
I've never seen them get beat like that. Honestly, since
not in the Robert Washington era.
No,
not at all.
Am I saying that right, Pep?
That's something.
7 touchdowns.
That's something right there. AJ had 8 touchdowns last week.
15 touchdowns in 2 weeks. That's a lot of touchdowns.
Now I need to find out. I saw their receivers posted numbers today from last week. And then, of course, that's too late to do Pep Man's players. But I need to know about these receivers. He's throwing it to somebody.
I'm trying to play receiver for those guys, man.
So, y'all give me your receiver stats because someone is out here catching these beautiful passes. Good, congrats to Community School, man. That's impressive. Karen Belk. I was so hoping Independence was going to prove all of you who picked Catholic wrong, and they almost did. I picked Independence, and it was 35-21, and I'm over there on the sideline saying I'm about to creep back up into predictions. And then I get to the car, and then I saw Charlotte Catholic won. I said, man.
You know what? They by no means need to hang their heads. Those guys are back in the the realm of relevance again. So I said on the show, I said this was a test to them. This was a test. And in my mind, it's not a win, but to hang in there with a great team like that and go down by 1 point, I mean, it says a lot. They still made a statement. Obviously, you want to win and you want to win them all, but that's a huge statement to hang in there with a great team who has, I can't even count how many championships Catholic has in the last 10 years. So they're back in the conversation. Independence is relevant in the area again, and that shouldn't be taken lightly.
Absolutely. And one of the things that we talked about, on the show this past week was why in the Dirty Dozen, well, not the Dirty Dozen, but the CMS Best of Last, why Independence was 3, Battle Creek 4, and then Olympic 5. And my argument was I felt like they were a strong team deserving of that, and they've been undefeated, and they've been getting better as they've gone along. And I think, even though in a loss, that's, validated. Now, the thing about the ending of that game is Charlotte Catholic, you look at the games they've been in this year, the overtime game at Hickory Ridge, the game against Providence Day. They've been used to those pressure situations against really good teams. And that experience counts for something. Independence has been impressive, but they haven't been in that kind of situation yet this year.
Not recently.
Close game for Robinson for 3 quarters, and they pulled away. But
right.
Shout out to Catholic. We're kind of making this about Independence, but shout out to Catholic to getting it in a close one.
I mean, finding ways to win. That's what good teams do. And they were down 14, and they found a way to win. They went for 2 to get the lead at the end of the game. I think it was 43 seconds left. And then Jack Larson played defense, got a sack to end the game.
Wow. Another cover boy for Pat Man's players.
Yeah.
CFI blessing.
Blessed upon blessing. You know what Tiger said?
Tommy Wilson, what's up, man? Thanks for watching. Let's see. Yep. Mr. Phillips had a great night. Should be very proud of him.
I got to figure out which Phillips he's a part of. I coached a couple Phillips over there. They were good players.
Okay. Let's see. Chat administrator, Lake Norman 29, A.L. Brown 7, and Cox Mill, big 56-7. That was over West Cabarrus. And then we got a special visitor. Oh, Lord. Big Shelby on CFI After Dark.
Since I missed the show, I had to miss the show Wednesday, I got to hop on tonight.
That's what happens when you win 3 in a row. You just come out of witness protection. You just pop back.
We still in witness protection, man.
Well, talk about your game, Big Shelby, since you're here.
Well, I mean, we had a good team win tonight. We're not really impressed on how we played with us being the favorites, so we got a lot of things we need to work on, man.
Okay.
But I will say, I know I missed it, but I will say the Independence loss to Charlotte Catholic lets you know how good Independence is right now, though.
Yeah, we were just we were literally just saying that right before you came on. That's definitely some validation.
I was watching.
You were what?
I was watching.
On the sideline?
No.
What you got?
I just heard y'all talking about it. I had got on the link on Twitter.
Oh.
I'm not on Facebook anymore, so I looked at it on Twitter. So I had seen y'all just talking about it.
I'm gonna join you, McLaren Rock. I'm gonna join you, McLaren Rock, man.
What y'all drinking over there?
High quality H2O, man.
Trying to break up these kidney stones, man. I'm tired of laying there on the ground.
There we go, man.
Jeez, almighty.
Don't let Tommy Wilson run you off Facebook, Big Shelby.
Oh no, he ain't ran me. I don't even know who that guy is.
All right, Armani Bird, thanks for watching, Armani. Clover 26, Bowling Spring 0. Clover's 2-3, but don't sleep on them. Best defense in the state of South Carolina. That is a bold statement.
That's a big statement there, man.
Wow. Well, Armani.
Did anybody get the Gaffney score? Anybody post anything about Gaffney?
I can take a look. But see, I got to look up this Clover defense real quick because, that's what we do on the show. We want to verify what people say.
If they lost 3 games.
Bowling Springs is a good team.
I mean, we just had a defense shut out South Point last week, right?
Oh, didn't they get 7 in that game?
7 shut down South Point.
I mean, basically, yeah.
That's still a shutdown in my mind.
So Clover has given up on the season 30, 19, 24, 37, and tonight was their first shutout.
I mean, just being 2-3, you gotta be careful saying you the best with the best defense in the state of North Carolina.
I heard 2 games over 30. Can he
So-
can he expand upon that
Well, Armani, you're more than welcome to
We're gonna
expand
need
on
Armani
your
to come in
claim
on
right
that
there.
I'm gonna
So
need
Armani, you got to explain to us why they're the best defense in South Carolina. So,
I mean, he's probably a super fan, so he's saying that as if I was
Okay.
to talk about my own team.
or maybe he
Gotcha.
means starting tonight. He's like deleting those from here on out. They're the best defense in the state. Can't really argue with that one. Just they gave up 0 tonight. So
Best defense tonight.
there you go.
Gaffney, 35-31 over Fort Chester. Where's
Hey,
Fort
great
Chester?
thing about Gaffney, right? Gaffney's homecoming was tonight. And do you know how their students in school celebrate homecoming?
How is that?
With
They have all type of skits and plays and alumni cheerleaders and players. They be there at school from 8 to 3. They don't go to class. The football players dress up in suits, real nice, and they have a big celebration of homecoming, kind of like a college type atmosphere throughout the whole day, and nobody goes to
how
class.
it should be.
You know what? Gaffney reminds me of Shelby. That they have such a history of success that when they drop a couple, people make a big deal out of it.
I'm over here looking up Fort Chester. Where's Fort Chester High School?
What is Fort? Come on, Pep.
I wouldn't have known.
That's what it was tight. It said Fort Chester. I was like, where is Fort Chester? Let's see. Jason Bass. Indy is a problem. That is a 4A team that no one will want to see. Based on what we've seen so far, absolutely. Let's see. Dutch Fork lost that game. It was 29-7. I think it was at St. Francis Academy out of Maryland. I saw that score earlier.
Almighty Tommy Knox lost a game?
Now, St. Francis, that's
The clip I seen in pregame, I'm gonna send it to y'all guys.
I saw it.
That's
I
pretty.
saw it.
That's pretty respectful. Nobody's really in each other's face, and it's like the Dutch Fork coming down the sideline, running out, but their players from the other school are just sitting on the sideline, literally yelling at them while they're running through. It's a pretty dope clip, though.
Yeah, I was like, wow, that's interesting right there. Let's see. Jason McCrory, AK Stats guy. RGKL 48-0 over Palisades. So RGKL getting back in the win column. Big time right there.
Is that like a geographical rivalry now?
Nah. There's gonna be a school kind of like north of Ballantyne.
Oh, okay.
That's gonna be their geographical rival.
I
We
guess
So-
talk about the definition of rivalries anyhow, producer.
we do. That's true.
So Armani says they played 3 ranked teams and almost won all of those. Well,
They gave
I'll
up
tell you.
30 points and 26 points and 30 points. He's talking about the defense.
Well, I'll tell you. I've almost won a lot of games in my career, man, and I was almost one of the best offensive coordinators in history.
It is.
Almost, man. Almost counts.
Big Shelby almost gets sauce on his wings when he goes to Wings Central.
Hey, get a week.
Uh,
On the way up.
oh my gosh, this is crazy. This one,
Never know.
Charlotte Christian 35, Latin 27. I respect Latin, but Latin was winning in that game, and Christian came back to win it. But that says a lot about Charlotte Latin. They're a team that you're gonna have to respect and deal with coming down the stretch here.
Hey,
For
Pat, man.
sure.
I missed that part of the show. How was the Chambers and Huff game?
You
Well,
gotta rewind it and watch it on YouTube.
I ain't seen that on Twitter, so I didn't know what happened.
Defensive battle, man. Defensive battle. Not a shootout by any means,
Well, that's why you ain't see nothing on Twitter. There wasn't much to update.
Wasn't a lot of offensive highlights.
I was gonna text my guy, my guy from Next Gen, to see how they did.
If I'm not mistaken, each team only scored once on offense. That was really it. That's it.
Well, in those games, you can get a special teams touchdown or a defensive touchdown. You're in a good spot, man.
You know what you're going to get in games like that? You're going to get the top officiating crew that the organization has. I mean,
I'll tell you tonight, the officials we had tonight ain't thrown out one flag.
There wasn't a flag? What?
Officials we had tonight ain't thrown out one flag while we was on defense. I'll tell you that.
Never seen a game with not one flag.
Discipline.
They threw them on us, but they ain't throwing on us. Not throwing nobody else.
Look, man. How many points did y'all score tonight?
About north of 45.
Exactly. You had nothing to worry about, man.
I never heard nothing like that. About north of 45.
He gave me a range. I asked for the point. He gave me a range.
And we got a sideline warning, so it's always nice at home. Get sideline warnings at home.
That's because Shelby was on his phone looking up scores.
I feel like you got a sideline warning, not we. You got it.
I'm up top.
Next to me.
That was you.
Oh my gosh.
Dash orders your food to be home there when you got home, man.
Man, I'm up top taking personnel, man.
All right, let's go to ticker because
I sent my messages about games at halftime.
All right, South Meck over Berry 46-6. Butler with a big win over Providence 44-6. East Meck 31, Garinger 28. Our buddy Billups almost got one, but hey, that's a big improvement for Garinger. And East Meck getting their second win on the season. I mean, shout out to both teams right there. That's a good football game. RGK, we mentioned them 48-0 over Palisades. Mallard Creek continuing to win 47-7 big over Hopewell. Let's see. That final score, like Kenneth said, Concord 32-7 over Central Cabarrus. Northwest Cabarrus wins again, 26-3 over East Rowan.
I think it was a 6-3 halftime score, though. They had a big second half.
Wow. Weddington, big over Mecklenburg County, 56-0. I saw that on the schedule, and I was like, dang, they playing all in Mecklenburg County?
Over who? Is that a new all-star game?
No, it's a school out of Virginia, apparently. And
Mecklenburg County Virginians.
Yeah, they're the Phoenix, actually. But,
it was a CFI All-Star team they was talking about.
Not very good All-Stars. Covenant Day on a roll, 42-0 over High Point Christian. Providence Day, 42-0 over Christ School. Cannon back in the win column, 35-6 over Asheville School.
I just want another Corvian score. That's what I'm waiting on.
I'm not.
I don't know if it's on the ticker, to be honest.
I don't want to hear it, man.
We'll have to.
You swindled me in the no.
Hey,
you don't even know who won.
Can we get an inside look in how our predictions may be?
Nope.
I got to go back and check.
Right now,
I picked Charlotte Catholic. I picked Charlotte Catholic.
I got two
Panthers on top of that.
Oh. I picked Charlotte Catholic. A.L. Brown lost, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
we bad.
All right. Well, back. Can I finish the ticker? Okay. Eastern ran over West Stanley 42-0. West ran over South ran 47-20. They're winning again. Porter Ridge back in the win column. Good game. Overman Road 24-20. Tim Winters was down there from Union County Football providing updates, doing a great job like always. Joe Hughes game of the week. South Point over Hunter Huss 35-7. Kings Mountain rolling 56-0 over North Gaston. Cox Mill, tough loss last week. They win big 56-7 over West Cabarrus. And that north of 45 for Shelby was actually 55. Thomas Jefferson 6, the final score there. Crest 54, Stuart Kramer 28. East Gaston winning again 38-0 over Cherville. Forest View In a good one, 24-21 over Ashbrook. Nation Ford in South Carolina, 33-20 over Richland Northeast. I mentioned that Parkwood. No, I didn't actually. Parkwood upset victory, 31-28 at Indianland. Really good win for Parkwood. York 41-0 over Fort Mill. Mount Pleasant 36, Union Academy 14. Bessemer City, big win, 60-14 over Highland Tech. East Lincoln 28, Statesville 7. West Iredell 26, Fred T. Ford 8. Lancaster Falls 48-7 at White Knoll. And Corvian over Carolina Bearcats 42-8. There's your Corvian update.
I can't. I'm losing signal.
All right. Oh, well, thank you, Chat Administrator. I appreciate that.
Remove him. Remove him. We didn't need that. Like we heard it.
Oh, God.
I'm just in my.
Thank you, Mark Wayne Petty. Thank you. Thank you for a lot to donut. That's good stuff right there. Let's see. Y'all are something else in the chat now. Reagan over Glenn 28-26. Okay.
A good win.
Naden 27. West Lincoln 17. All right. Yeah. All right. What else y'all want to talk about?
Not that Corvian game.
Are the Panthers going to win Sunday?
I picked the Saints.
I hate having to pick them.
You're not a real Carolina fan, man.
You're right. I'm not.
I hate having to pick them out. It's like default. Like I just.
Why we got them on there again? Can we get the Eagles on there one week?
Why?
That's my favorite team.
No one here is a Philadelphia fan.
I didn't think the Eagles ever played in Shelby.
Hey, man, we beat the Panthers.
I have a question.
Yeah, you in the NFL. That's like the time the girl came up to me. I was dating this girl in college, and her best friend said, "Kenneth, I gotta tell you something. She's cheating on you." I said, "She is." I said, "With who?" She said, "Gardner Webb." I said, "Who with Gardner Webb?" She said, "No, Gardner Webb. She's cheating on you with Gardner Webb." I said, "God, no, the whole Gardner Webb." That's like saying you beat the Panthers right now. Yeah, you in the NFL, you beat the Panthers. The whole NFL.
This is what you get on CFI After Dark.
We keep putting Panthers on there, man. They're just hurting people's records.
Oh, God.
I feel obligated to pick them.
Like a year and a half, the girl broke my heart, man.
I feel obligated to pick the Panthers, man.
Thank you, producer Brandon.
Like I'm starting in the hole.
That is accurate. West Charlotte did defeat West Mex 7-0 in the first annual Lion and Hawk Classic, which is a new thing they're doing with a trophy and all that. So West Charlotte
with a better name than a Lion and a Hawk Classic.
Well, they're the Lions and the Hawks. I
would like a better name though.
It's called the West Side
the West Side Battle.
Well, I mean, Harding and Berry had the Battle of Allegheny. What you want, the Battle of Tuckasegee Road? I mean,
yeah.
West Side till I die, something.
Is there a lot of footage online or like National Geographic of a lion fighting a bird?
Man, I've never seen the bird win against a lion on National Geographic. I gotta do something better than that. Like West Side.
You know what I'm saying? They got the perfect thing. Both on West Side Showdown, West Side Classic.
Action. We'll help them come up with something, man.
We'll help them.
Just leave it at CFI. We'll look out for you.
CFI West Side Battle.
We'll look out for you. They
can
be Westies forever.
Westies.
Westies.
Does anyone have a Harding Myers Park score? Because I cannot find one.
We could have had a CFI show, just how they do college game day at the game.
You know, we did that. We did that in 2017 when Harding and Chambers played for the
hold on now, Max Turk. Boy, I will hunt you down.
Whoa, what? What?
Max Turk, man, I will hunt
Hold
that boy
on.
down.
Oh,
I will
Panthers.
make you climb the hill, Max, and you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh my gosh.
But anyway, yeah, we did a game day at the what was it? Was it
Yeah, it was Harding and Chambers. We did a pregame game day outside the fence at Harding.
which was a poker table and some phone downstairs. But
But we did it.
we did it.
Before we were big time.
Right. That was the humble beginnings right there, man.
Poker table outside.
Poker table, man.
It was mine. I mean, it was easy to bring. I mean,
with some church chairs and
I still have that table and chairs. I sure do.
But it was effective. It worked.
All right, so we have definitely gone off the high school football rails here. I don't have a Harding Myers Park score, so if anyone knows that, feel free to share it. I've tried to find one. I've texted people.
Like on Madden, when you don't feel like playing, you hit simulate.
Yeah, and I don't have anything else. So, all right. Well, that's CFI After Dark. Hope y'all enjoyed it, and we'll be back next week with Football Focus Weekly on the big Wednesday night show. And we'll have our JV game of the week, which now I have to sit down and consider multiple options since we've been summoned to go different places.
Wow.
And we'll figure out where we're going next Friday. So for the engine, Big Shelby, and the super producer, I'm the pet man, Matt Marvin. Thank you. Have a great weekend. Let's go Tar Heels and let's go Saints. Good night, everybody.
You literally